time with hashtag #LearnOn1. Share your comments on the lessons. SMS your feedback, name and town to 555. Hashtag #LearnOn1. Invite learning in.
The affirmative repositioning movement's activists are hard at work, championing the plight of the poor, the permanently disadvantaged, and justice. I met with activist Tuafeni Petrus, recently praised by Windhoek Mayor and founding member of the AR movement, Job Amupanda, for having assisted a worker from Swakopmund, simply named Maggie, to get some of her salary back after her employer failed to pay her for a while. Tuafeni, a former trade unionist, is using his know-how to alleviate the suffering of the workers at the coast.
My interest is just to represent employees. I've come to realize that trade unions are not really there for employees, especially when they are having labor issues. Up until today, there are more problems across the country where workers have been exploited and victimized at their workplace. And some still belong straight to trade union, paying up membership fees on a monthly basis. But when they are in problems, those trade unions are nowhere to be found, or maybe to represent them. So I think from our side as activists, we will step in whenever we see the need to go and assist our fellow brothers and sisters across the country. And this should go out as a warning that we are not going to leave any unstone turned. We are going to make sure that we deal with whoever is exploiting Namibians employees in general. My biggest concern actually is like the BEC of Rossing that was recently dismissed for standing up for the workers' rights at Rossing, whereby the union did not represent or protect those members that were representing the fellow members at their workplace. Today they are on the street, and I think the union still plays that hide and seek game, pretending representing employees, while in the same vein they're actually together with management. These are just one of the highlights of things that I pick up. Also with the Besche investment company that is based in Karibek, where workers also were embarked in an industrial action or in a strike, where later on they lost their job. As you speak now, they are on the street, and the union has still been playing the same game that they used to play, pretending representing employees, while in the same vein they are together with management. They actually now they are advisors of companies, but these employees pays a fee of 1% on a monthly basis. But when it comes to labor matters or unfair procedural from the company, the union or the union leaders prefer to stand firm or to support management. So this is a big and a great concern to me. That's why in the due course going forward, we are going to have a lot of unemployment. People will be losing their jobs left, right and center because the unions are they hold no ground today. I mean, they are just there for decoration. There's nothing that they do that one can really say, okay, the union went to represent certain employees at a certain company and overcome, and things are back to normal now. After strike or after dispute, workers are always dismissed, and then trade unions are still not doing anything. So these guys are just in positions, maybe just to warm up the chair or maybe just there for decoration, but they are not really lifting up to expectation. A lot of exploitation is taking place, especially in the small scale mining and in contract companies where workers are working without contracts, working without any benefit, being dismissed from work without proper proceeding hearings taking place. But yet unions are still doing nothing. To them, it's business is normal. As long as they are there in those offices and wearing union attires and driving union cars with badges and making funny meetings, which at the end of the day they hold no water, no ground, no positive outcome is actually coming out. You understand? So these things have really, it's paining me a lot, and it gets me very frustrated when I see employees suffering in this sort of format. But as an AR activist, I think one have freedom now to really stand up for what is right. I think they are going to leave us. They are going to leave us. To leave us dying. I mean, we will die for standing up what is right, irrespective of who is connected to that company or who is actually a friend or who is having any shares in that company. We are not going to leave any stone unturned. I mean, a few days back, I received a call from a lady called Maggie. She's based here in Soko, a domestic worker that she's been working for 8 months without a salary. Imagine somebody that works for 8 months without any single cent, and all what those ladies or employer can give you is food parcels. So I was very eager to go there. We went there with one of my colleagues or one of my activists. And we went there and confronted that employer. And when we came there, they were a little bit rude, and we told them that we are not going to leave this house up until you pay something or get to an agreement on how you are going to pay off that money. We told them we are going to camp at that house up until you pay that money. It's where we have reached. We come to that agreement now where she was compensated on the same day, 2,500, and then the 5,500 will be paid off end of this month, in October 2021, which is a good progress for us. We are also asking out Namibians out there that are suffering over this same magnitude to really confront, come forward to any AR activists across the country to come and really report to us. We will gladly assist you in a way, wherever we can, because this exploitation has to come to an end.
Here he is in action, getting justice for Maggie.
Okay, Maggie. Okay, this agreement is between Maggie and her employer, 8,000. Okay, okay. So,
is it okay?
Can she down? You guys are paying 2,500 today, okay? So the total amount was 8,000, eh? Okay, that is outstanding. So end of this month, of October, you guys are paying 5,500. How will that money be paid? Will it be cash or will it be deposited in her account?
Deposit into her account.
Do you have her account?
Yes. When I wallet, will either be an e-wallet or deposit into her account.
Okay, so she can just sign here. No, it's not my money. It's Maggie's money. How do you want to give me Maggie's money, man? Okay, as a witness, I can just sign here, eh?
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Okay, so you make a copy for us. We keep one copy. One, the other one stays with you.
Did you count them, eh?
I don't have a copy.
Okay.
But I know what I've said.
Okay. Okay.
So it's good.
2,500.
Yes.
Okay, thanks, man. Have a nice day.
Okay.
Okay. Here's your agreement. Sure.
I asked Tuafeni just how much labor relations have in fact actually changed since independence, because the plight of the lowly worker seldom takes center stage.
It's still the same since after, before independence, it's still the same. I mean, you take companies, for instance, like this APS. There is a lot of people that works for, especially in mining, and retail shops like Womanbrook and Pick and Pay and Checkers and so on, and then also in the fishing factories where people are working under APS. For instance, just an example, you as a APS employee, for instance, maybe you are getting a 10,000 salary. Half of that salary goes to APS on a monthly basis. And then you also don't have any benefit. There's also no contract, you understand? So that's why when you go to these shops like Womanbrook and Pick and Pay, you will see after 3 or 4 or 6 months, you will always see different ladies. I mean, you will not see the same ladies that you used to see 3 months back, you understand? This is a hiring and a firing. And people went to exile of this exploitation back in the 80s. But now after independence, we are still experiencing the same problem, you understand? But government is literally doing nothing about this, because we all know, we have also come to realize that some of the big guns are also shareholders of these APS companies. We do not want to mention names, but we will get to that going forward if they not stop. We also want to urge those APS employees and any other employees that are facing unfair labor practice of being victimized, working without contracts, being exploited like that, to really come forward and and come and see any AR activists to assist them in that regard. We also have the Revolutionary Union that will be in operation very soon. We are just waiting for the certificate. There's also a delay now at the labor just to grant us that certificate in order for us to be in full operation. You know, everybody fears AR, you know, AR is not a joke.
Oraniemund, established in 1936, from which point onwards CDM, now Namdeb Diamond Corporation, provided every service, the schooling, infrastructure and entertainment required for the people of the town. The winds of change is blowing over Oraniemund, which is no longer a closed town.
This ship was commandeered by King Charles III, and he actually sent a knight to Spain to go and fetch some money from investors, because they wanted to go and fetch some spices in India.
When we were kids, the mine delivered milk, bread, and black paper, black plastic bags for your rubbish, and cleaned your garden, did the maintenance of your house. You had furniture already installed in your house.
mpaka tuyadha otuli pamwe nangoe mompombo mainyanyudho otse ea mukuru okuzangenea totere mombo omaovigali hweigiyali omrunga radio obwakala nokukundaneka okunyanyudha nokuyakuroshigwani omrunga radio yotango monamibia.
So whilst I was interviewing Tuafeni on his mission to get justice for Namibia's working class, he received a phone call from yet another disgruntled employee who refused to take a position as a cleaner after he was basically demoted following a car accident he had whilst on duty, which left him unable to do the same job that he used to do. He was formerly an assistant mechanic.
On 12 May last year, 2020, we were involved in a car accident. I was not a driver, I was just sent as a mechanic assistant. And the driver is died on the spot because we were two, and the driver is died at the spot. And from there, I was in the hospital. I was in Katutura, hospital. So we were going to do our job on the Kulene region with the campaign centers. Then I just find myself in the hospital. How did I come here? And after 2 months, then later, say I was on the. We were on duty, and the car overloaded, getting an accident. Then from there, I was on my sick leave till December, let me say it. And then January, on 1st January, I come to start the job. Then from the job, I start my job. First time they put me on file, just to file. Then from there, I was doing filing. Then from there, they changed me to. They take me to Dr. Moi, to their private doctor. They're having a doctor which they will send me to Dr. Moi in Swako. And later give me a report that the guy can, but they can't pick up the thing with 10 kg. I must not do it because I'm not yet fit. Then from there, they changed it. They sent me again to medics. Where did I do my last? When the medics still give the same story, I must do it, not doing the heavy duty. Then my employer decided to take me to make me as a cleaner, to change my position to cleaner, but they demote the salary. I must get $16 pay, $16.97, which I'm not happy with it. I say I can't. It's not. They say it's an accident. People say, yeah, I know it's an accident. It's not the employer's fault. It's not my fault. But they decide to change my salary. So then from there, on 19 July, they just terminate my contract and they send me home with a 16,000 something package. I waited for the company 7 years. Of course, there is no one. I can't even afford to pay my rent, to give my child food. It's just because I was taken to the labor And they decide to go to the labor, they say they can change the, I don't know, labor commission, because it was there. I was there on first, I was at the labor commission. I didn't get the help. Still, they say I must go back to work with a salary demotion, which I'm not happy with it. There's a collapse. It's something which is not. There's a collapse. Let me say that there's a collapse. There's a big collapse. Because I'm having a level 3, I think. But you can't demote the salary. Because I'm not like, I'm having a safety kit. I'm working as a mechanic. Instead of promote me, you can't demote.
As my luck would have it, Tuafeni decided to go and confront Titus's employers.
But check the time. I need to go out. I have my own life. I've got things to do. There was nothing. He went, he ran to the labor law.
You have your own life, but you want to run our life. How we should run
I'm sorry, then you need to stand here and look at me the whole day. You didn't make an appointment, nothing.
Listen here.
Let me focus now.
Yeah, understand. We want to know how this happened, that somebody was involved in a car accident or box to your company, you are letting the person off. We want to understand what is your goal of conduct.
Who are you?
We are here.
Okay, so now where is his current acting? Where is Ricardo?
Who's Ricardo?
This guy that is defending you.
No, we are the one defending you. That's why we are here.
No.
Yeah, that's why we are here.
You're not here. Luister gou hier. Tijdens het nou hier aangekom met 2 ander mense wat onder ARB is. Hulle het 'n appointment gemaak op enigiets. Hulle is ontvlaai $170. Wat dink ek hier? Julle moet die perseel verlaat. Okay. Ek sal anders bel aan die polisie.
That is all correct. That's your problem. That's all correct.
Bye.
Yeah. That's all correct. Yeah. Why we are here? Because this gentleman told us you are the one. Yeah. You are the one that accept the gentleman with the paper. You are the one who served the gentleman with the termination letter.
Through CEDA, our labor consultants, please. You guys cannot go back here and just say this type of things. Why are you guys not going to the arbitrator?
This is you are the employer.
I want to ask you cannot just come in here.
Sinaliga is your lawyer that you pay to represent you. Understand?
You didn't
we came to understand why did you terminate the contract? That's what we want to understand. Why did you do that?
Listen, I am not going to talk to you about anything. It's not. You did not make an appointment with me, or you came here with anything.
What did you do? You still the same person you are going to meet.
No, you are the one who terminate the gentleman's contract.
He knows not. He knows not why we terminate.
Why did you do it?
I will not talk to you. I have no reason.
Why did you do it? Why did you do it? Why did you terminate the gentleman's contract?
What is the difference? What was different?
If it was you, I put yourself in his shoes now. If it was you, you are still an employee also here in the same base. You are not the owner of this company. You are also involved in a car accident. And then the boss terminates your contract. How will you feel?
Hi, ma'am. How are you? Ma'am, I'm calling you from Coventry Investments. We've got 2 guys that came in.
Tell them we are ARM.
They are standing here in front of our building, shouting and screaming, wanting answers. Can you please ask them? Yeah, Coventry Investments in the new industrial area.
Stay true to who you are and stay true to Namibia sounds. Starting September 4th at 7 p.m., Valentine's and 99 FM bring you the True Music Sessions, a back-to-back playlist of our nation's finest artists, brought to you by the finest blended Scotch whiskey, Valentine's. Stay true. There's no wrong way.
Dear viewers, you have tuned into the pilot episode of a new locally produced TV series called As the Mayor, a platform exclusive to One Africa TV.
Putting a proper system on land and housing. There are no systems in the city. So these are the things that we have now done, because the problem is that it's chaotic all over. You cannot tell people that you must follow the procedures if the procedures don't work. We are now showing for the first time that whether you are a president, whether you are a minister, whether you are an AR activist, whether you are a Nudo activist, whether you are a bishop, whether you are a pastor, there must be order in Windhoek.
And so the drama ensued. Me just recording in the background, eagerly anticipating the arrival of the Namibian police force.
So the Labour office is the one who gives a green light to demote him.
We were sitting there on Friday. Why did you not? I'm saying now about Friday. We were sitting in front of the agitators from the Labour.
So, no, I want to get this right. So the office of the Labour, the Ministry of Labour in Swako, is the one who gives you the green light to say that you must demote the gentleman.
We sat there. What they were saying is everything that we did was according to the law. They cannot see that we did anything wrong. Okay, so they asked us, we must take him back either as a cleaner where he agreed upon. I must talk to the boss. If the boss say yes, they must withdraw the case, he comes back as a cleaner. If not, next year, we sit again in front of the arbitrator.
But then, but then the problem is no. Now we are talking, that's good. I saw the you cannot just come here. It is fair. Show me where your things are. How can you just come in here? So the Labour have given you a green light that you can remove.
But now that's
whether police come or NDF come, so we will talk. You understand? Tomorrow this thing will come here.
I'm asking you, are you
so now the gentleman now is suffering. He's suffering because of his condition. He's suffering now, he doesn't have income, he has families to take care of. But yet you are saying the Ministry of Labour have given you a green light that this gentleman can come, this guy, you can sit again next year. So we want to understand now, in the due course of money suffering, who's taking care of all those things?
But I was saying, I think this argument you must have with the Labour can respond. You think that's the easiest way now is to go to the Labour.
Where is the boss of this company? Who's the minister?
She's not here.
Where is she?
She's coming
when?
Thursday. Wednesday, Thursday.
She's out of the country. She's a foreigner or a Namibian?
No, she's just
She's a Namibian or a foreigner?
Why are you asking all of this?
She's a foreigner. So this company is a foreign company?
No.
I'm asking a question.
No.
We have 3 directors in this company, which is all Namibians.
No, okay. I want to understand.
You are interrogating us.
I want to understand now. Now, so this, why don't we reinstate the guy? You understand? Why don't we reinstate the guy? As you have said, you have agreed upon with the Labour. Why are you now? Why did you kick him out?
Listen, he was given a chance and he refused. So what more do you want from us?
A chance, but you guys you brought down his salary.
Okay, excuse me, can you take this back to the Ministry of Labour? Not here, where we're trying to work.
But then the thing is, this is your fault. You understand? This is your...
Can I ask you to take your issues to the Ministry of Labour?
I want to tell you, this is not a Labour story.
It is.
It's a Labour story.
At the end of the day, the Labour office does not employ you.
Exactly, but that's the sort of thing that... Can you please excuse us to go to the Labour office?
We are not going to the Labour office. What is your side of the story? Are you intending to reinstate the gentleman?
When you think the hearing
last week, part of the game.
how can you come and say what we must do?
Okay, please give us the documentation of the findings of the conclusion.
That's why. Please go to the Ministry of Labour and they can give it to you.
No, they won't give it to to us. You are the employer. You have employed this gentleman. So we want to know, according to your side, your findings there when you made that.
You can ask them for their findings. It wasn't our findings. It was the findings of the Ministry of Labour
What was your
and the arbitration.
You as the employer, what was your side?
Because you want the whole hearing to take place again so that we can.
Chantal of Quivertree Investments then went out to fetch the police.
Now we are talking to the
I'm asking you, take your case back to the Ministry.
This is not our case.
You not listen to our side, you just to decide if we want to come in.
Because you come in here and
you don't listen to our side.
You saw somebody saying it.
Listen to us, man.
This is the way I talk, I speak.
You listen to our side.
And you must turn it down.
Okay, fine.
Our side is now. Can you disclose the document to us, please, for us to be able to meet?
If she's got a copy, then she can give it to you.
Can you give it to us?
I can't give it to her.
No, the managing director, she's just a HR. Directly to give us those documents.
I will, and she's come back with the police now.
Well, no, my dear, we are not as rate of police. So we are not you understand? Yeah. Because at the end of the day, as much as you are also a manager of this company, if these things, for instance, you also involved in a car accident, and you are treated this way, whereby you are no more a manager, you are going to be demoted.
If we go through the whole same process as what we went through with him, the whole process.
By bringing his salary down.
Because he's not capable of doing what he used to do.
Who is the cause?
Not us.
Yeah, who's to be blamed? Who's to be blamed?
I'm asking you.
No, I'm asking you.
We can all go together
to
the Ministry of Labour. We'll just wait for Chantal to come back.
Okay.
And we can all go together.
Yes, yeah, then that's good. Then we can all go together.
No, I think we will make an appointment
when?
After 2 or 3 o'clock. Not now.
They want to open?
No, they won't open.
But what was your findings since you were manager? You were in anything position? Somebody's
You don't have to ask us that. That was all covered in the hearing.
Who personally is a manager?
Yes. We've appointed a capable person to handle these things.
Who's that person?
Chantal. I'm just an HR person. I'm an accountant.
But do you understand? No, you just say you're a manager. Now you're an accountant.
Exactly.
I'm an accountant manager.
We are more than one manager. There was a manager for the workshop, a manager for the accounting, a manager for the operations. Now, what do you not understand?
Since this gentleman in this condition, as somebody in a leading position in this company, how do you see this gentleman?
Not capable to do his work anymore because that's what the doctor said.
The cause of what? Did he apply for that accident?
No.
Okay.
Also, we didn't apply for the accident.
You are on duty.
Yes.
Okay. And then what does your company code of conduct say in terms of accidents when an employee involved in the accident?
So we covered him. We covered the 6 months that he couldn't work. We paid him his salary.
And now that he's now disabled,
we gave him a job that he can do. Cleaning. That he's capable of doing in his condition.
Is there no other office work that he can do to assist just to sustain his salary?
No, because he's not qualified.
Do you understand that if you are bringing somebody's salary down, you are actually hanging him out?
Okay, let's go back one step.
Okay.
I was now in what do you call it? Accused of not introducing myself. So who the hell are you?
But can you retrieve back that word?
Yeah, who are you?
The police arrived in a vehicle belonging to the National Statistics Agency and ordered me to stop recording. It was resolved that the documentation following the hearing a few days earlier was not as yet finalized. AR activist Tuafeni Pietrus decided to go and follow up at the Ministry of Labour. I asked for permission to interview the arbitrator for this case, and AR activist Tuafeni Pietrus relented and said,
The gentleman made his decision. We wanted to opt to get him reinstated back to work, but he chose not because apparently he will be targeted. And he just feel like he's going to get another job elsewhere. So irrespective of that, that one is not going to stop activism. We're still on the ground, and whoever needs assistance, please feel free to contact us or get hold of us.
They can't accommodate me for a long